Hi guys, how's it going? Christian Moreno here from Aquila Light Productions, and today we're gonna talk about After Effects basic training. So we have a series of videos where we're gonna show you how you can learn After Effects in just 10 basic steps. So each video is gonna take you to all the basic things that you need to know in order for you to be able to use After Effects today. Not tomorrow, not a month from now, but today. So this is video number 3, animation, which we're gonna be talking about all the stuff that you could do to animate your footage and animate any transition, any effect, anything that you wanna animate. I'm gonna be able to show you, and the main thing that's gonna make the animation happen are keyframes. So we're gonna put keyframes in different locations depending on what you're tweaking and what effects you're applying or anything that you're gonna be doing to animate your footage. So let's just get right into it and let's go. So let's just play, let's start playing with it. The first thing that we're gonna come and take a look at is we're gonna create a new composition. So in this case, let's do this one. So we're gonna create a new composition, the same settings as the footage has. And here we have a girl drinking water, blah blah blah. This is the footage. So we're gonna just start playing with it. So we're gonna come here, click this arrow, and in this arrow we have the transform. If we click again the arrow, then we have the anchor point, position, scale, rotation, and opacity. So we can start playing with this one. So opacity basically is to fade in from full video to no video at all. Then we have the rotation, so this one will rotate around if we need to rotate it. Then we have a scale, and as you guys can see, whatever we're moving here is always moving around this point that we have here, this anchor point. Anyways, okay, so here, so you guys see how it moves up and down from the anchor point and side to side from the anchor point. Now if you come here and you click on this palm behind anchor point, so if you click here, so then you will be able to move around the anchor point and put it where you want it to be. So let's say in this case we want it here, so we go back to the same tool, and then you guys will see that it will move around from that anchor point, everything else, so this is pretty much it. So you guys could play around with this, and so those are these tools right here. So let's just press reset and then we'll go back to normal. The same way, if you wanna reset just one single one, you right click on it and then you press reset and it will reset itself. Now as you guys can see, we play around with it and we know. So let's say in this case we want to, when it plays, we want to go from being full screen and then we want it to fade out to black. So then we come here and we do another keyframe right here, and then one keyframe right here, and then it goes from dark to opacity. So you guys see, whatever the player is at, like this arrow right here that indicates where we're playing the movie at, whatever it is, it's gonna create a keyframe. So this watch that you can see here, every time you click it, it creates a keyframe. So when you click the keyframe, then it goes, and then it creates the other one every time you do that. So it animates, as you guys can see here. So let's say in this case, okay, I wanted to go from black to full movie, and then I wanted to scale a little bit once it comes to this point and she starts drinking water. So I'm gonna move the anchor point and I'm gonna put it like maybe like here, her mouth, because we want to see when she drinks. And then we're gonna put a stopwatch right there, and then as soon as she starts drinking water, we want to zoom in to that point. So we're gonna start zooming into that where she's drinking, and then let's play it back. Dun, dun, dun. Drinking. Oh, delicious water. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's how you play around, like I said. And if you wanted to reset it again, you right click, press reset, right click, press reset again. But you can notice that the keyframes are still there. You haven't deleted them, so you have to come here to this and you press delete and it goes away. Cool. All right, so that's it for it. So now the other thing that I wanted to show you is we can also do this, something like this. So let's say, for example, we're doing a position keyframe. So let's say we're gonna take it out here. Oh no, actually, let's reset it. So up until here, we make another keyframe. Also, you guys could take away and put keyframes like this. Also, if you want to get rid of all the keyframes, you could just click the stopwatch and it will take away any keyframes you have. So in this case, let's put one here, and then we're gonna start moving the position up until like here, and then push play, and we have an animation. Now you see that one is kind of like moving a little bit like up and down, up and down. That's because all these points here basically are kind of like the path of the movement. So if you want that to be more accurate, you could always let's make it better. So let's do this. So we're gonna start here, and then we're gonna press shift so that will make an even path, so it will look straight. So hold shift and then move. And the same thing if you want to go up and down, you see it's really straight. Just by holding shift, we make sure it's straight, right? Cool. Okay, so now let's press this, and it's looking good. Okay, now another thing is that if you press the keyframe and you press F9, or you could just right click and put keyframe assistant is in. So you see F9 is the shortcut for this. I don't know, for some reason my keyboard is not working. So if you press F9, it's gonna make it easy in. So it's gonna just like make it smoother once it gets to this point. So yeah, now the same thing if you want to do rotation. So let's say we want to rotate it here, and then we're gonna, so it starts from here, and as we get here, it goes back to normal 0, and then we press is in, and then now we have a better animation. Boom, there we go. Now we can add some motion blur as well. So if we press this, whatever keyframes we have in the stopwatch, it will apply the motion blur to it, so it looks more appealing, Cool, awesome. You could even move around your keyframes and make them closer or slower. Also, you could select all the keyframes and then press copy, and then select where you want to paste them, and it will paste them here. Now you could also have, let's see it's coming in. You could also have the other way around. So you press Option if you're in a Mac, or Control if you are in so you press Option and you go back, it will do the opposite, right? So here we start, you know, bam bam, and then now we're going back. Now another thing you could do is you know, copy and paste, and you can press Shift, and as you select the keyframes, you can move them around. Wherever you want them. Once again, if you want to take them off, then you press the stopwatch. Same thing for this one, and it's good. So that's kind of like, you know, an overview on how keyword and the keyframes work. So you could play around and make some animations with it. Now that I show you guys how to use keyframes and how you can play around with them, now I'm gonna show you some shortcuts. So once you select the clip that you're gonna be working on, then you can press T, and then the opacity will come on. P for position, S for scale, D for opacity, R for rotation, and what was the other one? A for anchor point, and I think that's it. You know, let's say you're working and you just wanna right away start working on, you know, your opacity or your position or your anchor point. Then you just click you know, A for anchor point, or T for opacity, or P for position, S for scale, and that will take you right away instead of you going here and then down and then looking for it and all that. So that makes things faster. Also, another thing is that, let's say you want to work only on the scale and the position. So by holding on Shift, once you select one of these ones, by holding on Shift, so let's say you press position, then you hold Shift and you press S, then you will just you know, start accumulating the ones that you just want to work on, instead of having all these things here that sometimes it gets overwhelming when you're working on many things. Now, okay, so that's just for the basic transformation thing here. Now, what if we want to apply an effect and start playing with keyframes? So we can also do that. So let's go ahead and add an effect. So blur, motion blur, let's do this one, and now we're gonna apply it here. Now another shortcut is that if you have any keyframes on your current clip, if you press U, once you click here, if you press U, any of the keyframes that you have will come up. What's going on with this? Did we erase all the keyframes? Yeah, we did. That's why. Okay. So instead of you coming here, going effects, file blur, blah blah blah, what we could do is, let me show you this. You know, I'm gonna do a keyframe here, and then we come here and So let's say we have here the motion blur, right? And also we have here, you know, some, you know, here we have scale, we put a keyframe here as well, and we'll have another keyframe here as well. And then in opacity, we're gonna have one here, another keyframe here, and then another one here. Boom. Okay, so we applied some effects with keyframes and also on the transformation. But see, in order for you to get to it, you have to come here, click there, go into effects, and then, you know, try to look for the keyframes, right? There's an easier way for you to do this. So if you press U, whatever keyframes that you're working on are gonna appear right away. So as you can see, you have opacity, scale, and then the effect right here, blur. So if you press U again, it's gonna disappear. So that's a shortcut. Another thing you could do, and I forgot to mention, is you know, if you press V and then you drag the time indicator and you press N, so that's where you're gonna be focused on, so you control these two. So let's say I want it to be until here, you press N again, and then you select here beginning and end. That makes sense, right? Okay, so that's another trick. Now let's say we're gonna be working on something quick. Okay, so let's click U and let's erase all these keyframes and you know, press reset, whatever, and then U again, and then we're good to go. And then I want to start from here to work on until here, and then, you know, so we can look at what we're looking at, you know, and then here as well, we don't want any effect. Cool. Okay, so once we take off the effect, everything, so let's talk about this. So if you press the tilt, we're gonna be focused only on this window, and we'll bring it back again. Okay, cool. So another thing I wanted to show you guys, so let's drag this picture here, and we're gonna start playing around more of the screen. So if you press the tilt window, if I press tilt, we're just gonna focus on the window, on the viewer window, and we're gonna select the picture, and we're gonna start adjusting this to what we need. So say, you know, purpose, you know, the purpose of paint is to move us into action. Tony Robbins, look that guy, he's a wise man. Anyways, okay, so let's use this tool to rotate it if we need to. So how it works with you know, whatever clip you have here, whatever is on top at the beginning, like in top, is gonna be the one that's gonna be above the other one. So if you change it, you move it around, now we have the girl on top of this. Another thing also to consider is that when you're playing around with the clips, and then you select the ones you want, you know, and then you see you could always move them around, you know, in order for you to know that this is not a layer. You could click here to make sure you're not confusing any of the composition layers and back that sometimes we make, so that you know, so whatever is on top is gonna always show. So here you could just play around with the layers, and also here if you want to disappear, so you could just focus on one, you could press clear to view it or unview it, Same thing with this one. You can solo multiple layers. So let's say here we want to take a look at just this one or this one. So these ones are kind of like, you know, in case you're working on a big one, so then you'll solo one, or these two. But in this case we only have two, so that. And after we have here this parenting tool that I'm gonna show you as an example. So if we click here and we press on this one, so it's kind of like they're gonna stick it together. So now whatever I move this one, the other one will move with it as well. You know, if I make it smaller, so whatever you apply to one is gonna apply to the other one. So that comes in handy when you just wanna, you know, take some of these ones and move them together as if they were one composition layer. So you could do this. So this is really powerful. And if you want them back again to normal, you just go here and none, and then they're back again to be individual layers. As you can see, I'm explaining that whatever is in top that's what's gonna show. So in this case we have the picture here on top, or if we want the girl to be on top, it will be on top. So this is really important because I'm gonna show you this. So let's create a new adjustment layer. So the adjustment layer is gonna be on top of everything that's underneath, right? And let's say we're gonna start applying some effects. So let's do some motion blur. Oh no, let's do some color correction, and then let's do vibrance. And we're gonna start playing with it. So wherever is underneath this adjustment layer, any effect that you're gonna put is gonna apply to the other ones. So same thing. Where is motion blur? So here, I'm gonna do this. So see, so whatever it is, it's gonna apply to both. Now, if we select, you know, let's make this more even, and here this one more even. So let's say we're gonna move underneath the girl. So now you see it only applies to the picture underneath. So whatever is underneath this adjustment layer is gonna apply. And this comes in handy when you want to, you know, apply just one effect to the whole layers that you have on your timeline, and you just need to, you know, create one adjustment layer, make the adjustments that you want with effects or whatever it is effect that you want to apply, and then it will just apply to everything that will be underneath. Now, you know, it is the way that it says, so whatever is underneath, it will you know, change. What we could do is we could also create a background color by creating a new layer and then solid. And then let's create, we'll choose the colors. In this case, let's do red, and then press OK. So then we'll put this one at the back, and now this is gonna be our background. So this comes in handy when you just, you know, need a background in the back, and you just you know, you're gonna work on the other layers to make them look like if they're just posters, right? Like here, and then you'll make some text later on that we're gonna show. And yeah, you could always change the color here and then make other effects to the background, but you get the idea. Cool. Alright guys, so this is it for video number 3 animation. Hope you guys liked it. I hope I wasn't that slow. It's morning right now. I just woke up and started working on this. So cool guys, so please enjoy. Go to the next video. We're gonna be talking about keying and transparency. So I'll see you guys until the next one. Bye bye.